The second possibility is problem is well defined. When the problem is not well defined, you are requested to go through these 4 points: secondary data, pilot survey, experience survey and case study. The only purpose of doing this is to define your research problem accurately. Now the next part, your problem is well defined, then no problem, you are at this stage. So when we have covered this after research problem, it is known as research design. Means in terms of research methodology, we have 3 prominent research designs: exploratory, descriptive and causal. So when the problem is well defined, any of the 2 research designs, which are also known as conclusive research design, descriptive or causal, can be a type. But when the problem is not well defined, we are forced to go through exploratory research design and explore the ideas so that the problem will be well defined. Research design is clear? So after problem definition, we will first identify these factors. So after going through this, the next part is do the review of literature. Right? Please hand over the mic to the backbenchers and ask one particular question from you people. What is review of literature? Any volunteer from the last line?
So review of literature is to see the previous researches.
Why it is required?
So that we can define our problem and we can
No, problem has already been defined, ma'am.
We can differentiate from that, or we can take the ideas from that.
No, why ideas are required? That is my question.
So
you are absolutely right that going through the previous research, going through the secondary data, the answer is absolutely correct. But why it is required in research?
To differentiate the problem occurring between the 2 companies or the 2 organizations.
No.
Sir, to be ready that what the problem they are facing, the organization should not face those problems.
No, we are facing the problem. That is why we are conducting the research.
Sir, the other organizations which they have faced the problem, we conduct the research so that the problem which they are facing, we cannot face that problems.
Any other answer?
So because both primary and secondary data is required to...
No.
To base the research.
See,
We already have
the only purpose for which we conduct review of literature is to get the better understanding of the problem. I am facing a problem. It is not mandatory that this is the first time we are facing a problem. Some other company might have faced the same problem 2 years back, 3 years back, 5 years back, 10 years back. So we will try to find out if any research is being carried out to find out the answer to the problem which the company was facing 10 years back. So the only purpose of review of literature is to get more insights of the research problem which we are having. That is why if you go through any research paper, the review of literature part will contain so and so said this in this year, published at this place. This will be written in chronological order, year by year, so that you will be having a better insight of the research problem which you are facing, so that you can proceed with your research work further without any hassle. That is the only objective of review of literature. So any student who is willing to write research paper, the first task is define the problem, go through these methods of research design, and the third part is review of literature. It plays only one important role to define, to give more insights of the research problem which you are facing. When you are through with review of literature part, then you will define objective, scope and limitation of your study. Then research methodology, again important part. Research methodology will cover topic number 1, hypothesis if any related to your research work. Now again a big challenge for MBA students what we mean by hypothesis.
The assumptions that we get while conducting an exploratory research, any kind of assumptions which we make.
Exploratory research, we use hypothesis?
No, with the help of exploratory research, we get some hypothesis.
No, you try to define the question which I have asked you. How to frame hypothesis? Is exploratory research is required to frame a hypothesis? No, stick to hypothesis only. What is hypothesis and why it is required in a research work? Assumption, you are correct. Anything else?
Sir, hypothesis is a tentative solution to a problem.
No.
It is not a tentative solution, sir.
No.
It's a pre-result.
Hypothesis is your assumption. It is acceptable to me. The answer given by your class. So now why hypothesis is required in a research work?
Sir, so that the research can carry forward, or like we can carry the research forward with the same.
So according to
idea.
you, if we don't have hypothesis, we cannot conduct a research.
No, sir.
Is it true?
Right, sir. No, we cannot conduct the research without the hypothesis.
Who told you this? What about qualitative research? Now, let us try to understand what is hypothesis. The answer given by your class, hypothesis is an assumption, accepted. So, why we develop hypothesis? Yes.
Hypothesis is basically the assumptions for the objectives we have.
You are talking in terms of flow chart. Something else.
There are basic axiomatic truths that we take to carry forward our research.
Any example?
Like of axiomatic truth, like in mathematics, we take the value of pi as 2.17. So
It's constant, boss. So we cannot assume anything about a constant figure. If I say acceleration due to gravity is 9.81 meter per second square, it is true for me, it is true for you, and it is true for ma'am also. Right? So hypothesis is what? Hypothesis is an assumption based on the research topic which we are having. Right? Suppose we are going to conduct a research, attrition rate of, I am talking in terms of HR example, because I have quoted a marketing example, so now HR example. Suppose we are conducting a research to understand the attrition rate of sales force in insurance companies. The problem is clear? Attrition rate of sales force in insurance companies, and my study is restricted to Delhi and NCR. So I am developing hypothesis. First hypothesis, the attrition rate is independent of income. What is this? This is my assumption. Means the people who are not sticking with insurance companies, they are not going to another companies due to income. Second hypothesis could be attrition rate is independent of gender. Attrition rate is independent of the type of insurance companies, private or public. Attrition rate independent of education. So these are my hypotheses which I have developed on the basis of the objective of the study. Now with the help of data collection which I will collect on my research, I will test these hypotheses. So for hypothesis testing we need statistical tools. We will come on this topic later on. Try to understand this. So after doing the research design, the next part is developing hypothesis, and we have developed the hypothesis. Now forget about hypothesis. Next part is how we proceed with the research work. What is remaining with us? We have defined research design, we have defined hypothesis. Now we have to collect data from the respondents or the target audience who are being targeted for my research work. I am conducting a research for a marketing product, so my target audience would be the people who are willing to purchase this type of product. So for this we need target population first.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What about the research instrument?
We will come later on. After sampling, we will discuss research instrument. Don't worry. Don't worry. We will come to research instruments. So, when we say sampling, first part is target population, second part is sample frame, third is sample design, fourth is sample size, and fifth is sampling method. So, target population will cover the population which are of my interest. Then we will define the sample frame. What do you mean by sample frame? Sample frame
So list of population.
means database.
Yeah.
Database. Can you quote one example? Your answer is correct. Can you quote one example for sample frame?
Yeah, if we can take the example of RDIS, in a college, if we are considering BBA students, then we can go directly to them, like.
No, you talk in terms of sample frame. Your answer is correct. Database. So when we say database, what does it mean to a researcher?
So the whole population,
That is known as target population, ma'am. I am talking in terms of sample frame. Now you talk in terms of sample frame. So I am proceeding further with the example given
It's
by.
sample size.
No,
No.
I am proceeding with the example given by that girl backside. Sample frame, if we take the example of RDIS and we are trying to define BBA students, target audience as a BBA students, so my sample frame would be the name, phone number, email ID and address of all BBA students who are being enrolled for this particular course in RDIS. So what will help us? The attendance register of the faculty members. So attendance register or the database of the college will be considered as sample frame. Then sampling unit, from which we are supposed to collect data, is sampling unit. Then sampling method. Please remember, for MBA or BBA students, only one prominent method of sampling is applicable, which is known as convenience sampling. So you are requested to make a note of it. Never write in your project work simple random sampling. You can use as a student only convenience sampling. Convenience sampling is a type of non-probability sampling method. So to give you a revision of these different sampling methods, we have two types, probability and non-probability. Probability sampling method consists of four types: simple random sampling, systematic sampling, stratified sampling and cluster sampling. Non-probability, judgment, quota, convenience and snowball. Why the name is simple random sampling? Why the name of this method is simple random sampling? The first type of probability sampling method. Answer. Why the name of the method is simple random sampling? No answer? No, it is true for all the methods, systematic, stratified and cluster, because they all belong to one type, that is probability sampling method.
Basically, it is easy and moreover, we are following some steps, but again the
You
numbers-
define why the name is simple random sampling, that's all. One line statement. No, this is applicable to all four methods. All the methods which belong to probability sampling, all methods are having the equal chance of selection of a sample.
The sample which we are taking with this method is very random.
No, as I told you several times, it is applicable to all four methods, ma'am. So, please make a note of it. Simple random sampling, why it is simple random sampling? only due to one fact: we have to use random tables each and every time to select a sample. That is why it is known as simple random sampling, a part of probability sampling. So through with sampling method, sample size, sample frame, sampling method. Now the next part is data collection. Why data is required in research? Can I have marker, please? Why data is required in research methodology or research? Why data is required? Out of the? No, we have already defined the problem. Then why data is required? On the basis of what? Okay. So how we proceed with data collection? No, data is being needed. Please remember one line. Data is being needed to approve or disapprove the hypothesis which you have framed. Data is needed for what? For the approval or disapproval of the hypothesis which you have framed, right? So what we do with data? Who will help me with the marker? You stick to data only, abhi. Don't move further. नहीं See, data is required when we are through with hypothesis and sampling. Data is required for testing the hypothesis. Please remember this line. So when we say data, data is having this flow chart. Can I use this board? Data move to a CPU, gives us information. When we collect data, it is required for what? Data which we have collected will move to a CPU, which is known as a statistical processing unit. For you, I am quoting the name CPU. It is the statistical method by we are using. Then with the help of this, we will get information. Right? That is why we need data. So now we are at the stage of data collection. So what are the prominent methods of data collection? Mike, please. What are the prominent methods of data collection? And so there are three prominent methods: survey, observation, and experiment. Experiment is not applicable to management research because it is very much related to laboratory research. means research which is being carried out for physics, chemistry, biology, zoology, botany. So for us there are two prominent methods, observation and survey. So if we rank these two methods, survey is the number one method. So data collection method for MBA students, most precisely it is survey. Then we move to data collection tools. So under survey we have a prominent method which is used for data collection, is known as questionnaire. Right? So questionnaire is what? What is questionnaire? If somebody will ask you, since you have done your MBA second semester, define questionnaire.
It would be combination of several questions whatsoever is going on in the market or the consumer behavior is happening.
You tell me the definition of questionnaire.
It is a set of questions asked so that we can come to know about the behavior or the attitude of the customer or his preferences about that particular product.
You are in postgraduate course, if I am not wrong. So we have gone through the different classes for secondary exam, senior secondary exam, graduation and intermediate. Right? All the times we have a textbook with us. And the end of each chapter we have a set of questions. So what is written above those questions? Exercise. Have you ever seen questionnaire? So questionnaire cannot be a set of questions. Is it clear to all? Questionnaire is a quantitative tool. Questionnaire is a quantitative tool to collect data. Please remember. Questionnaire is a quantitative tool to collect data. It never be a set of questions. Right? So we have survey as the prominent method, questionnaire as the prominent tool. So after collecting the data from the market, for my research objective and research problem, the next task which is in front of me is to tabulate those data. So you must have gone through the quantitative techniques for management in semester 1, or it can be in your semester 2. So when we say tabulation and classification of data, it is being done with the help of a statistical tool. We have different methods for doing this. Then after classification and tabulation of data, what is the next task in front of the researcher? What is the next task? After classification, tabulation and collection of data, what is the next task which is in front of the researcher?
Analyzing the data.
Yes, how we analyze the data.
Measurement and scaling techniques we use.
No, talk in terms of analyzing data. Measurement and scaling techniques, they have a separate role in research methodology. How we analyze the data? So please remember, data analysis is being done with the help of statistical tools. Data analysis is being done with the help of statistical tools. The most prominent tools which are available in front of us for data analysis is correlation, regression, chi-square, ANOVA, z-test, t-test and factor analysis. These are few methods by which we do the data analysis. What is the purpose of doing data analysis? Is to either approve or disapprove the hypothesis which you are having. Right? So after data analysis, we will move to findings, and after writing findings, we will write conclusion and suggestions. When we write suggestions in terms of research methodology, we try to highlight the gaps which we found in data analysis and how to minimize those gaps. Suppose you are conducting or you have conducted a research on the awareness of the consumer on a particular product, and in your finding you have written the awareness level is very low. So what would be your suggestions? Increase awareness level. So awareness level can be increased with the help of IMC, that is integrated marketing communication. Right? if you have conducted a research in HR and people are not satisfied with the income they are getting, so what will be your suggestion? Match your package at par with the industry standards. So for a researcher, when the researcher is writing a suggestion, that researcher will try to minimize the gap which he has or she has found at the time of findings. Is it clear? Is it clear? Now the question related to that gentleman who has asked me instruments. Please raise your hand. Who has asked this question? Repeat your question.
What are the instruments that we can use for the research?
Research is having different instruments at different level. For data analysis, we have statistical instruments. For data collection, we have different instruments, which is known as questionnaire and interview. For data analysis, we have different instruments like Z-test, T-test, chi-square test, factor analysis. Is it clear? Yes, gentlemen, I am asking you. So this is a summary of research methodology, how we start with a research problem and how we end with suggestions. Now you can ask questions if you have any doubt as far as this research process is concerned and the application of research in management. We will have few more points. If you don't have, then I have some questions.
Sir?
Yes.
In the analysis of data,
Yes.
so we write the meaning that we have taken out from the data that we collected. That we write in the findings of the data.
No. First you do the data analysis, then you write findings. First you do the data analysis, then only you can write findings.
Sir, analysis is basically what we have
collected. Yes.
Not the meaning.
No.
Not the meaning of the data that we have collected.
No.
That we will write in
Data
the findings.
has no meaning unless and until you follow this diagram. Data, a statistical CPU and information.
That we will write in the findings.
Yes.
And what we will write in the conclusion then, sir?
Conclusion is the summary of your project work which you have done. So if you have done a project report of 60-70 pages, you will write 2 pages based on your own experience with the research work. What was your experience, what was your findings, and what you are going to suggest for the improvement. Please remember, all MBA students, you are not supposed to close the gaps, because once you close the gap, what will happen? There will be no further scope of research on that particular topic. So being a students, what we do basically, we try to minimize the gap. Then there is a further scope of research on the similar topic or on the same topic. And for your kind information, yes please.
So in case if we don't have any of the historical data about a product and we have to do...
you forget about product. Historical data about the problem, you say like this.
Yeah, that's there. So we don't have the historical data about the problem. So can we do the research on the basis of the hypothesis whatsoever we have been generated?
No, how you will get more insights of the problem? That is the big problem. If you don't have any historical data, you don't have anything in review of literature, so it will be very difficult for you to get more insights of the problem. Right? So if we are not having similar data, forget about it. We will try to find out which is very close to us. Right? The data which is very close to us, we will try to find out those figures. And what was the result of that research?
So for historical data, do we need to refer a particular website or the journals only, or we can get the data from anywhere?
Secondary data means any source you can use, paid or free, it is up to you. There is no restriction.